Spill Control Awareness Training Part 2. Once the pesticide is cleaned up and it's time to clean the hard surface, wash the area where the pesticide was spilled with liquid soap and water. Be sure to avoid the wash water from running off. Any rinse water, like that used for mopping, will contain pesticide and should be treated as such. This water should be handled as a pesticide. When collecting the wastewater from a pesticide spill, you may be able to reuse the water in your chemical tank. The water will need to filter so large particles of debris don't damage or clog spray equipment, and you must know the dilution rate. When there's a small spill on soil, it's fast and efficient to remove the soil from the area and place in a labeled container. With every treatment indoors, there's a risk of spill. Spills on carpet can penetrate to the carpet padding and create long-term odors. Removing the carpet may be the quickest, safest and least expensive way to remedy the spill. As with any spill, make sure you have on your personal protection equipment. To clean up dust and granule spills, start with putting your PPE on, if it's not on already. Then sweep the pesticide gently into a pile, and avoid creating airborne particles. The next step for hard surfaces is using a damp rag to pick up the excess, and preparing the surface for washing. Wind can play a factor in the cleanup of dust formulations. If it's windy, cover the dust with a tarp or plastic sheeting to protect it so it doesn't blow away. Here are a few tips you can use in the event you don't have a tarp. Cover the dust with nearby soil. Sprinkle with water so the dust becomes heavier. Cover the dust with unused coveralls or clothing that may be with you and secure. When cleaning dust or granule spills, avoid using any vacuums that have an exhaust. These will blow the fine particulates and expand the spill to undesired locations, thus creating an inhalation hazard. Let's look at a vacuum you can use, like a HEPA type. The term HEPA is defined as high-efficiency particulate air. This designation is used to describe filters that are able to trap 99.97% of particles that are 0.3 microns, which are very small particles. Can the dust or granules be reused after being picked up from a spill? The answer is yes. First, transfer the material to the original container, or to a proper pest container. Second, label the container appropriately. Third, store the product as you would any other pesticide in a secure location. In this portion we will look at reporting a spill. Some cities and counties may have different regulations or requirements, so always check with local government agency. There are different kinds of spills, some large, and many of them small. Small spills of ready-to-use product or caution-labeled products may not require any reporting since they may be under 1 pound of active ingredient. Large spills involving concentrates, or that are classified as danger or warning pesticides, may require reporting to local officials. Reporting to a government agency is dependent upon what is called reportable quantity. This is measured by weight or type of active ingredient. The label and SDS sheet has language about transporting pesticides. Transporting large amounts of pesticides requires special licensing since they are over the RQ reportable quantities limit. Large amounts could be considered hazardous by the Department of Transportation. Who do you notify in a large spill? If you're involved in an accident with a large spill, call 911. When calling, give them the product name, EPA number, and amount spilled. When emergency responders arrive, provide them with SDS sheets. You may have to get a hazardous materials company to do the cleanup. On-site emergency personnel will normally call a LOSMET unit to assist on spills. If in doubt, ask emergency responders to contact them. Large spills may require reporting to a national response center. The County Department of Agriculture is an agency that regulates pesticides and is familiar with pesticide products. They can offer guidance to ensure the cleanup has been performed properly and that you follow the label. If a spill occurred through no fault of your own, they are an agency available to help. Pesticide odor control. Products used to neutralize odors. Epolein is listed as a superhydrosol, which is labeled for odor control. Ozium is a product used for spills involving liquids, gels and aerosols. Bacazap is a bacteriological deactivator. What about testing to see if all the pesticide is gone? If the customer requests or demands it, samples of surfaces or air can be taken to ensure no residues remain. Contact the county health or agriculture departments. In some cases you can contract with a private soil or air analysis lab. Documenting the spill involves many steps. The key is being as thorough as possible. Let's review the steps that should be covered. Were you prepared to do your job, and did you have the right materials for a cleanup? How did the spill occur? Where did the spill occur? How did you contain the spill? Who did you notify? Include dates and times. What regulatory agencies did you call with dates and times? Who was present at the spill, and were there any witnesses? Get their names and contact information. How did you dispose of the cleanup? A few other things to document. What was the weather like? Were there any waterways, drains, parks, public use facilities, or animal habitats nearby? What PPE did you use while cleaning up the spill? Clothing type, gloves, shoes, safety glasses, respirator or mat. Spills are your responsibility and the responsibility of your company or employer. You must work together to get the property where the spill occurred back to its original condition. Therefore, training is crucial to responding correctly. Your safety and the safety of others, including the environment, is paramount whenever working with or around pesticide. This is End of Spill Awareness Training Part 2 in SHIP.